General Kelly, you've talked about your experience in Southern Command. We've seen refugees coming into this country. The numbers fluctuate. But it is one of the issues that really looms for us, is how do we not just set the right policy instruments, and I'd be interested in your thought on what those policy instruments should be, but frankly, also, how do we talk to the public? Because I think a lot of people, after the last 3.5 years of this moment in immigration politics, are saying this doesn't feel like how we should be talking about. It doesn't feel like the country that we are. How do you think about that issue?
Let me go back to my time again when I was at the United States Southern Command, and again, spent a great deal of time dealing with crime and with, crime, which translates to human trafficking, which is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just horrific. From all over the world, that's the corridor that they come through, and it's a terrible, terrible thing to know about. And then there's the economic problems and the drug problems. When I was at Southern Command, I was very vocal as a military guy, more vocal than you're supposed to be, about what we were not doing as a country that caused much of the violence and much of the lack of economic opportunity in the Central American republics and other places further south, and that is the drug demand in our country fuels the gangs, the murders, and all the rest of it, particularly in Mexico and in the Central American countries. And I would oftentimes make the argument vocally, to the point where the White House started calling saying, hey, you're out of your lane, that we need to do something to stop the drug demand in the United States, because it's a supply chain thing. You know, we in our country, we love methamphetamines, cocaine, and heroin, and all of that comes from down there. And we owe it to those people to stop the drug demand. We also owe it to them because the vast majority of the people that come up from that part of the world are coming really for economic opportunity. Their economies, they're very hardworking people, decent people. Mm-hmm. Their economies are very small. So to encourage the purchase of their agricultural products in the United States, to invest or to encourage companies, U.S. companies, to go down and set up factories, not necessarily high-tech factories, mm-hmm. but piecework factories, and we would overnight transform their economies down there. But the drug demand is killing those countries.
You know, I noticed, General, you mentioned a couple times tonight areas in which you felt clearly that things the administration were doing departed from your values, things that you didn't want to see happen. I think a lot of people wonder, frankly, in that moment, why stay?
Because I could stop it. I'll never be known for what, you'll never know what didn't happen.
Things could have been worse.
You'll never know what didn't happen. Because I would bring in, particularly as a chief, to bring people in to talk to the right people in the White House, to show that this policy or this consideration or whatever didn't make sense, whether it was in the economic realm or the international relations realm, the immigration realm. But you began to lose influence, and a key point on the immigration issue was when the Chief of Staff of the White House is completely blindsided by a decision as big as zero tolerance, that in a sense we'd been convincing the right people was not a good idea, we didn't have the money, I've already gone through that. When I'm completely blindsided by that, you begin to realize you're being cut out of the decision-making process.
Do you wish
and
you'd left
I did
earlier?
leave.
Do you wish you'd left earlier at any time?
No, I left when I realized I was not having the influence anymore. And then after that fiasco in Paris, and I said it's time for me to go. So.